On August 7, 2016, two innocent pedestrians were walking nearby when they came across a raised area in the undergrowth. This elevated area near Scone was actually a shallow grave. The discovery of two pedestrians has stirred up Scone. In honor of the memory of the victims, Carly McBride, a mother of two from Belmont, was born on April 4, 1983 in New South Wales, Australia, to Steve McBride and Lorraine Williams. She was an energetic, cheerful, and exciting personality. His family and those who knew him said that he radiated a positive energy around him until his teenage years. Like every adolescent, his adolescence was troubled. Although he tried to overcome it calmly, he could not succeed. In the end, a youthful mistake had extinguished his cheerfulness: alcohol and banned substances. Although Carly struggled with addictions, she was a strong character. Therefore, she took action to get rid of these addictions. In 2013, at the age of 30, she enrolled in a rehabilitation center to fight her addiction. Alcohol and banned substances had started to extinguish his life energy, but rehabilitation had re-energized her. It was at this rehabilitation center that she met Kenneth. What started as an ordinary friendship quickly turned into a deeper relationship, and by August 2014, Carly and Kenneth had become an inseparable duo. Although this relationship seemed like a love story, it was actually quite toxic. The two were users and addicts of banned substances. Although the rehabilitation process brought them together, there were still individuals who were not settled. Likewise, those who knew them from the outside were also aware of this. According to the witnesses of their relationship, there were arguments between the couple from time to time. Kenneth was the harsh side of these arguments. However, after a while, the couple returned to their normal behavior. This return to normal was not a sign of improvement, because it had become a cycle. Carly was slowly losing more and more energy. Carly had planned to visit her daughter who lived with her father in Musselbrook. This visit did take place. On September 30, 2014, this visit would be a turning point, because no one would see or hear Carly again until August 7, 2016. According to official statements, Carly said she was going to the nearest McDonald's. The nearest McDonald's was a 20-minute walk from the house. Something seemed to be missing. Carly had not contacted anyone to let them know where she was, which was out of character. They tried to call her repeatedly, but their scans went unanswered. Initially, it was thought her battery had died. Then they started looking for her around McDonald's. But Carly was nowhere to be found. After Carly's disappearance was reported, detectives focused on Andrew Easton, the last person known to have seen Carly McBride alive. Andrew initially told police that he and Carly had gotten into a heated argument that afternoon, which eventually led to Carly storming out of his house. An important question arose as to whether Carly had actually left Andrew's house that day, or whether Carly had deliberately withheld important details despite Andrew's version of events suggesting that Carly had left of her own accord. There were no eyewitnesses to corroborate Andrew's claim. Not a single neighbor had seen him leave, nor did any pedestrian or driver recall seeing him along the supposed route to McDonald's. Determined to corroborate Andrew's account, the police searched the area extensively, interviewing residents, local businesses, and anyone else they could find. They also carefully examined all possible routes he might have taken in the neighborhood that day. Despite these diligent efforts, no one reported seeing Carly walking towards the fast food restaurant or anywhere else. The lack of eyewitnesses deepened the doubts about Andrew's testimony. They examined surveillance footage from homes, businesses, and traffic intersections along the route but found no evidence that Carly had been in the area on foot that day. The fact that Andrew's home was located in an area of the city with limited surveillance coverage made it difficult to determine whether Carly had left at the time she claimed, with growing suspicion. Investigators extended their search to McDonald's, meticulously reviewing hours of surveillance footage from in and around the restaurant, hoping to confirm whether Carly had been there at any point, but after a rigorous analysis of the footage, the results were conclusive: Carly had vanished into thin air. Carly's Facebook account had been mysteriously deleted just hours after her disappearance, before she had even been reported missing. Had Carly deleted her account herself, or had someone else accessed it? Was this just a strange coincidence, or was it a deliberate act designed to erase the digital? No matter how admirable the police's efforts, they proved fruitless. Carly's digital footprint was also erased after a while. After 9 months without an answer, Carly's family refused to give up hope. Steve McBride and Lorraine Williams, in a relentless search for their missing daughter and appealing to the public for any information, Detective Timothy Seymour, during an emotional public appeal, encouraged citizens to come forward with even the smallest pieces of information that could help the case. Carly's mother Lorraine could not hold back tears as she begged for answers, saying, "Our family is suffering, we just need to know what happened to our daughter." Despite their best efforts, the police were unable to establish a direct link between Carly's disappearance and her ex-husband. Someone else was now a potential suspect: Kenneth, Carly's boyfriend at the time of her disappearance. As they delved deeper into their relationship, they uncovered disturbing details that painted a picture far removed from a loving union. 2 days before Carly disappeared, she and Kenneth had fallen out over Facebook messages she had allegedly received from other men. Kenneth presented himself as a distraught and inconsolable wife, but it was a mask. A few hours after Kenneth reported Carly missing, he made contact with several women. He spent the next few nights with these women. Carly's disappearance remained a mystery for 2 years. Her family and friends searched everywhere for her, organized campaigns on social media, but nothing came of it. It was as if Carly had vanished into thin air. On August 7, 2016, 2 hikers near the town of Scone found human remains on the side of a deserted footpath. The police were immediately informed. DNA tests confirmed that the body was that of Carly McBride. However, the condition of the body was terrible. Carly's body was found to have 23 different fractures, most of them in her skull. This indicated that she had been brutally beaten and most likely beaten to death. This finding took the case to a whole new level. It was no longer a missing person case, but a gruesome murder. The police launched a thorough investigation into Carly's death. As the investigation progressed, all eyes turned back to Kenneth. But something else came to light. Kenneth had not committed this murder alone. He had an accomplice who helped him, James K9. When the phone records of the duo were analyzed, it was determined that they were in constant communication on the day Carly disappeared. The police also found a map at Kenneth's house. This map pointed to the spot where Carly's body was found. Moreover, a sentence from Kenneth's mouth during the interrogation proved his direct involvement in the crime. "The hand bones are missing, aren't they? Only someone at the crime scene could have known this." Kenneth and James K9 were taken into custody on charges of murder. The evidence in court revealed how Carly had been murdered in a horrible way. The prosecution argued that Kenneth, in a fit of jealousy, attacked Carly and brutally murdered her. K9 then allegedly stepped in to help move the body and wipe away the marks. Defense lawyers argued that the 2 defendants were innocent, but the evidence was overwhelming. Throughout the trial, Carly's family fought for the killers to receive the maximum penalty. In the end, the years-long quest for justice paid off. Kenneth and James K9 were found guilty. Kenneth was sentenced to life imprisonment for the brutal murder of Carly. K9 would spend many years in prison for helping to transport the body. The Carly McBride case is remembered not only as a murder case, but also as a tragic example of violence against women. Her family supported various awareness projects to keep her life and memory alive. Carly's mother continued to fight to prevent what happened to her daughter from happening to other women.